Hey y'all, what's going on? It's me, it's Michael Burns with One Mic Out, and holy crapoli, we've had so many once in a lifetime events happen in the last 10 days alone. From uh, people calling for Biden for a sitting president to bow out of a race but remain on as president because he's incompetent. Cognitive abilities are in decline, and it was blatantly evident during the debate between him and Donald Trump, and even constituents in his own party and donors and all those people were calling for for him to step down or step out of the race, but not as being president, which kind of doesn't really add up, right? If we're sitting here saying, "Hey, you're a little too sick to be running for president. You should be thereby too sick to be president," right? But then fast forward, you end up having a attempted assassination on a former president and presidential candidate, once in a lifetime event, right? I mean, hell, Reagan was the last time that happened, and shit, I think that was what 1980 was. I don't think I was even born yet. And then fast forward to the sitting president right now saying, "I'm not going to resign or I'm not going to omit myself from the current race. I'm going to stay and be defiant and all that." To all of a sudden he gets COVID. And people are calling George Clooney, calling him, who gives a shit, but everyone, the news is going all over it. He had Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, everybody's telling him, "Hey, you should probably rethink your candidacy for a second term." And he was remaining defiant. All of a sudden gets COVID, goes off to Delaware somewhere, is unseen virtually, but then all of a sudden over the weekend on Sunday releases a statement stating that he was going to step aside and fully endorse the Vice President Kamala Harris to take essentially his spot. So now you have a Democratic presidential candidate nominee win zero votes. No one voted for her. And the party that is for democracy, hell, it's in the name of the damn party, essentially averted it. And now they're just going to select who they want. So all you Democrats out there, granted, your Trump derangement and your Trump hate probably supersedes the fact that your your democratic process of having your choice and electing who you want, because maybe you would have cast a vote for RFK, or maybe you would have voted for somebody else, or wrote someone in, was just subverted, and now you're stuck with who you get. But I'm sure a lot of them don't care, because as long as it doesn't say Trump, because of the Trump derangement and all that kind of stuff, regardless of you're paying more for cost of living and inflation and housing and foods and everything right now, and gas and everything, and they're trying to throw EVs on you and all this other stuff that's going to subsequently cost you so much more money to live. And that's all the agenda that's being pushed right now. But hey, at least you get a party that is going to tell you, hey, we got 53 genders, or here's a party that, you're going to be happy because they put a flag that's brightly colored with rainbow colors in the White House. It's your agenda and probably your priorities are a little bit different than those on the right. Because those people at least have some sort of core values that actually demonstrates that they care to a certain degree about your lifestyle and their lifestyle perhaps beyond politics, that you'll still be able to afford housing, you can still buy your starter home, and then throughout your success in your career and all that kind of stuff, upgrade. But now you're seeing people with their starter homes stay in those starter homes because they don't want to go out and pay 8-9% on a $400,000-$500,000 home, which is asinine, insanely crazy that people even look at those prices and go, "Oh, I guess that's not that bad." That's like gas prices, where it used to be a buck, $1.90 or $1.70 when I was in high school, super cheap. And then it returned almost to those levels again just 4 short years ago. But then people go, "Oh, gas skyrockets to $5, $6, $7 a gallon." Go out to California, and it's literally, you're looking at some cases it was over 10. And now that it's still dropped from that real crazy high where it was at, to now it's like at $3-4 a gallon nationwide, and everyone's going average, and everyone's going, oh, okay, that's not that bad. No, that's wrong. It should not be that expensive. Just like housing should not be that expensive. Interest rates should not be at 8% to when a home is inflated on its value at a double or triple what it's actually worth. If that comes down, yeah, then you can keep that interest rate at 8%, 7%. That's fine. But don't sit here and tell people, oh, that's a normal interest rate. Well, that's not a normal home price. So there's got to be a little give and take. Which one is it going to be? High home prices, low interest rates, or high interest rates, low home prices. I think people would go for that little bit of higher interest rate with a lower home price. But anyway, fast forward to now, Biden, again, writing down, not even appearing in front of the camera, not even, saying a video recorded message, anything like that, not even an audio recorded message. Literally, he goes away, they wisp him away, he has COVID, no one hears from him, then a document is released, a letter with a presidential letterhead on it, and then a signature at the bottom. If this man is in mental decline, which no one here thinks he should be president. He should step down right now, and Kamala should take over as the VP and become the P. But with that coming out, with the failed assassination attempt on Trump, you couldn't get him out. Then you're telling Biden, shit, Trump's still in. You probably can't win. We need you to step down. And if he's angry man yells at clouds. Whenever people are are having issues with dementia and cognitive abilities, they get angry really quick. They get frustrated. They yell. And you've seen that with Biden throughout the last few debates and everything that he's had, and appearances and media conferences and taking questions with the media. He gets really argumentative and he gets defensive. And you've seen that. Everyone with two eyes, you don't even have to have a brain. Just as long as you have two eyes, you can see that. You know that. And you actually ultimately ended up calling for him to take himself out of the race, but you should still be calling for him to step down as president, because ultimately, let's get down to it. You know that he should not be president right now. You know that he could not run the country another 4 years. He can't run the country right now. He's not running the country right now. Somebody else is. So shame on you. Shame on you for saying he was sharp. Shame on you for saying he was running laps around people. You were agreeing with that narrative. Shame on you for not coming out earlier when everyone else with common sense has it. That's what makes Republicans and the right look so much better, is because they actually do have common sense. If Trump came out right now, and a lot of people, there are people out there that think Trump is on a decline as well. Well, age, right? But not nearly to the level that Biden is at. But if he was on that same level, he's coming out incoherent, rambling on. He does ramble, but not in the same context that Biden does. At least he doesn't mumble. There's a difference between mumbling and rambling. There's also a difference between getting defensive with questions because you can't answer those questions, because you can't recall the information to answer those questions, to Trump, who just doesn't, he's not a politician, didn't come up a politician, who doesn't want to go off a teleprompter, but he's played into the political game a little bit to where he'll use a teleprompter. It kind of keeps him on point. But I'm not using a teleprompter right now. He likes to speak from his heart, and he does ramble on. I 1000% see that, get that. And in all honesty, I can turn a blind eye to that because I know he's coherent. I know he'll still make good business decisions for the country. And I've told people, I 1000% think that you should vote your bottom line, vote your bank account, vote whatever administration, whether it's Republican or Democrat or independent, whatever administration left you with more money in your pocket that you got to take home, put towards bills, put towards life goals, put towards whatever. That's who you should be voting for, because at the end of the day, security starts at home. Security starts with your financial well-being. If you have stuff paid off, you are free to go and do other things. You could maybe go start a business if you wanted. You could start a foundation. You could start other stuff. Devote that time towards something else. But instead, when we're hurting, the cost of living's up, inflation's up, paycheck to paycheck, people, the median right now, it's asinine that you have to make over $100,000 in the U.S. as an average to live comfortably, to live in the lower middle class. That's insane. When I was a kid, if you made $100,000, six figures, oh my gosh, you were rich. You were up there, but not anymore. That should tell you something. And just 4 short years ago, you had better housing prices, better cost of living. Inflation was down 2% at the time that Trump left office and Biden took over, and then it jumped. Fuel prices, which is the driver of essentially everything, that literally drives what we do, how you live your life, how enjoyable you are. Being constantly paycheck to paycheck causes depression. It causes the turmoil in the household because mom and dad start arguing. And that overall, in my opinion, has been the ultimate goal of an agenda of the left, is to destroy the nuclear family. That's why you get all these crazy leftists that are saying gay rights and all this kind of stuff when there's been rights. There were never not rights, other than the redefinition of marriage. And the majority of the Democrats, including Biden, Obama, Hillary, all your favorite people, were saying, no, it should be between a man and a woman. So you can't use that argument and say the right is against that. Your very own people, the placaters who are on the left, were doing the same damn thing. And then once they realized, hey, that's a demographic we can tap into for votes, they switched their tone. So they flip-flop. They don't even stick to what they say. Now you have a VP candidate, a VP who's now becoming the P candidate, who won no votes. So the democracy, the fallacy in all this, and the joke of it all is, you Democrats claim we're for democracy, we're for this, we're for that. But now you, as a Democrat, if you're a lowly person on the totem pole and you wouldn't cast your vote, well, now that didn't mean dick. It didn't mean shit. And now it's the media's telling you, hey, Kamala's our girl now, and everyone's putting that stamp on their forehead saying Kamala. Oh, okay, Kamala, good now. Yay. Biden out, Kamala in, yay. You're not using your brains, and you're not looking at, hey, was my life any better with the other guy, the other administration? We don't even know who's running the damn country right now. It sure as hell is not Biden. And if you think it's Biden, you're proving it by the fact that you were going to vote for him anyway, and now you're just going to blindly vote for Kamala, who won no votes. She didn't even make it past Ohio when she was running for president before, and calling Biden a rapist and all that kind of stuff. It's asinine politics. Gotta love it, right? Where everybody in politics is always flip-flopping or doing whatever. And the right now is not, they're not immune from that. And I do not exempt them from that because you've seen plenty of that too. The VP candidate, J.D. Vance, he called Trump a Hitler, and he was all this, all the negative stuff that he said, but then he comes out and admits, okay, well, I was wrong, well, yeah, he drank that Kool-Aid initially in 2016 and bought into that media. And I don't know how I feel about him, but I can tell you how I feel about the current administration, who has continued to fail all the American people, from withdrawal of Afghanistan, which shame on you. If you were trying to put that on Trump, that was 1,000% on Biden. Take it for someone who's there. Two, you're looking at the border crisis. I don't care about people trying to get over here to have a better life. I understand that. I want people to be able to pursue that better life, but through a legal means. But what I do care about is the fact that this administration is letting over so many people, and I get to read about it every day, people, on shit that you can't read about individuals who are not of Latino descent and Hispanic descent coming across that border, who aren't bringing families, aren't bringing women or children with them. They are military-age males, and you're just turning a blind eye to that, going, Kamala, all she said was, hey, here's seven, don't come. I was put in charge of the border, and I said, don't come. That's all she literally did. And then look at the border. Another 3,000, they said today on the news, is coming up to the border right now. So I'm telling you right now, people, if it's just because you hate Trump, and not one person has told me during his time as president what he did to make your life worse. All they can bring up is his past. Oh, he said this, or he did that, or this foundation did this, or he got caught doing that. Whatever. He had to pay this back, Trump University, or this fundraiser, or this charitable organization. Whatever. What did he do as president that made your life worse? Personally worse. I'm not talking about your emotions. I'm not talking about your little feelings or anything like that. How did it make your life worse? Answer that question. No one can. No one can. No wars started. The cost of living was down. Inflation was down. Housing was down. What was it that he did that personally affected you? Now, jump 4 years from then. All right. From the fact that, from the point that where Biden took over, what has happened to you now? You personally now can say, man, cost of living is up regardless. And they try to put it on the other guy. Really? So by that reckoning, then any turmoil we find ourselves in, or any sort of high inflation society we live in, or anything, you can always throw it on the previous administration. Really? So all those campaign promises you made to say, hey, if you elect me, I'll do this, I'll make this better and that better. But then 3.5 years into your term, you're going, it's the other guy's fault still. So you didn't come through on all your campaign promises because you said you were going to make it better. So you lied. So by that reckoning, no one will ever be telling the truth, because you can always just pass the buck to the last guy. What happened today with Kim Cheadle? She just resigned, right? Finally, after 10 days of what happened and yesterday's disastrous hearing. So finally, they recognized, hey, she's failed. She's out. She resigned. She's out. Shouldn't that be what we're thinking about doing with this administration? Kamala is part of the same administration. She has the same blood on her hands that Biden has, because why? They're a team, right? So they should go. And you should see what the next guy can do. And guess what? If he doesn't do a great job, then guess what? He's gone. And then you get to go through this whole process again. But I'm telling you right now, it's more of the same. They didn't even put up a different name for the Democrats, which is shameful. Put someone new, put a new fresh face in if that's the case. But you're going to put Kamala in, who makes weird quotes and word salad, and you're just going to vote for her because, again, she's not African American. She's of Indian and Jamaican descent. So she's not African American, but yet everyone's calling her black and this and that, because they're trying to placate and to pander to try and gain that vote. That's what they want. So what I'm saying, people, is use your brain and use the whatever science gave you or God gave you, whichever one you want to go with. Use that common sense and vote your bottom line. Vote who is going to put more money or allow you to keep more of your hard-earned dollar in your pocket. Because if you're still voting for, they let me hang up a pride flag, or they allowed a drag queen into a school to read a book to my kids, or they allowed kids to not tell their parents that, they want to identify as a female, even though that they're a biological male, and the parents are going to get in trouble if they don't allow that to happen. Really? Can you really sit there and tell me that you truly agree with that you agree with the government parenting your kids? So it's a rant-based episode, but I'm telling you, people, there's something more going on. There's a bigger, deeper agenda going on that you can totally, completely see. But you can go back if you want into all the little archives, do all the little research you want to try and dig up more dirt on President Donald Trump, and sit here and say, well, did you know back in 1984 he did this? Okay, great. I don't give a shit. Because by that same reckoning, did you know that back in 1970, whatever the hell, that Biden did this? In 1980, whatever, Biden did this. In 1990, whatever, Biden did this. And then go to Kamala. She did nothing to become president other than get nominated by Biden, or be like, you're chosen my VP. But she's done nothing to earn that. But you're all about the democratic process, right? And democracy and fair elections and all that, right? You're the party of honor and dignity and the democracy, like I just said, and fair elections. And yeah, sure, you're really showing your true colors right now. And I'll tell you what, they're not the colors that are on the pride flag. Or maybe they are. Maybe those are your colors, and you've just been putting it over everyone's faces this whole time in front of our eyes. But it's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. But you can't make the argument for Kamala or Biden when you're sitting here trying to demonize Trump, because every American's life was better at that time when he was in office, and you can't discount that. You can't disclaim that. And if you do, all you're doing is just you're acting out of emotion, and you're speaking out of emotion. So use a little bit of common sense. Vote your bottom line, your bank account. Whoever left you with more money in your bank account, that's who you should vote for. And we, the little people, had more when Trump was in office and less right now. It'll just be more of the same with this new Democrat candidate that they've propped up in front of you and stolen your votes from you yet again. And so, come on, people, be a little bit smarter than this. Anyway, This is the episode I wanted to come at you with. I am Michael with One Mic Out. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you next time.